So why do I love negative comments? Well, I really like positive comments, okay? But I can appreciate negative comments, not only because they help the algorithm, so they all end up being good for me in the long term. But what do I really mean by this? I appreciate the negative even if I disagree. The reason why is because it helps me get better at clarifying my arguments. Now, I'm a habitual people pleaser and I want to please people. So for me to put a video out there that goes against the grain is very difficult. And I expect some negative comments. And when I get a comment, it initially it hurts my feelings. And I'm like, why aren't you listening to me? I have this information that I want to share with you. But when I realize that maybe they have their own opinion and nothing I can say is going to change that, that's one thing. But what it does do is it helps me go, hey, even if this person has this opinion that goes against mine and it's almost like a religious view, right? I've run into this with two categories so far with cardio and kettlebells. Two things that you do not want to go against because it doesn't matter what argument you make, they're going to stick to their side. But what I want to say is it helps me fine tune. How am I going to be able to get this point across to someone that completely disagrees, that has had their own experience be something different? Because my experience, I know my experience and I don't say things lightly. I might say something controversial to get your attention, but I don't say anything lightly. It's all come from years of experience, from research, from my own research and development, whether that's doing my own exercises themselves or my own experience with these things or my own clients' experience or just seeing it in the field because I've worked at so many different studios and I've done so many different types of things. When it comes to physical exercise, health, and nutrition, I've tried so many things that I can speak on things. That's why I don't have any notes. I don't have anything. I can just speak on it because I've been there. I've done that. And I'm not trying to sound holier than thou. I'm just talking from experience. I know what works and what doesn't work because not only have I done it myself, I've trained hundreds of clients in that path. And a lot of them, it's come from failure. And that's why I try to share on things because I know that it doesn't work as optimally as something else because I've tried both of them. Sometimes I've tried both of them with the same clients. So when I look at negative comments, it helps me go, hey, you might have the right idea. I might have the right idea because I know that I've experienced these things and I've studied it and I've tested it and trialed it and I understand what's right and what's wrong. Maybe there's more than one ways to skin a cat. Maybe there's more than one ways, like in cases of with cardio and stuff like that, to lose weight with kettlebells, to do an exercise to hit certain muscle groups. But what I want to speak on with the negative comments is I need to get better at clarifying my arguments and breaking it down for people so that even if they disagree, they can go, I see where you're coming from, versus them going, you're an idiot. Your argument is trash. Your argument is nonsense. I made a video, kettlebell training is nonsense. And people just go right to insulting me. Now, maybe they're going to do that either way. And of course, those things I don't appreciate other than the fact that it pumps the algorithm. So keep on coming with the hate. But when it comes to my arguments and them, a lot of times I get comments where they're agreeing with me, but it starts off combative. I disagree. And then they basically tell me the same thing that I said in the video. And I'm going, we agree on this, but yet they're making my point for me, saying something that I mentioned in the video, but they don't realize it. Maybe they didn't watch the whole video, but what I get to is they probably aren't able to understand what I'm saying. Sometimes that's because of them, but I try to take ownership of that and I got to get better. I got to get better at explaining things. I got to get better at taking someone from point A to point Z, wherever I want to take them. Hey, this is what you're doing. Here are some of the problems with it, if that's the case, and here's where we want to go, or here's what I've found. Instead of me saying some things and then them just going, oh, okay, he's full of shit. So now I can't do that perfectly on everything. I'm not a perfect person, and I can't make all of my videos an hour long. I don't do a podcast. Maybe I will do a podcast, and maybe that'll be easier for me to explain myself if I have a longer form. But I like little kind of 10, 15 minute videos because I get one topic, one idea out. Like this is one idea, and I can share with you behind where I'm coming from. And, the better I get at that, the more I'm going to be able to help people, because that's the reason why I'm here. I'm here not to make sensational claims. I'm not here to get millions of followers. That would be nice. But the main point, the reason why I'm here is because I want to share my perspective. And when I speak on things, I will normally say, hey, this is my opinion on something, like whether it's politics and Trump and, the election. And I say, hey, this is what I think is going on. But when I talk about health and nutrition and physiology, I go, look, this isn't my opinion. This is just what your physiology says. I'm going to try to lead you in the direction, whether you want to take it or not, of what I would hope for people to do if they have the similar goals, right? As myself, as my clients, here's a maybe not better strategy. I'm going to say it's better. My opinion is it's better, but it's safer. That is not controversial, but yet I get arguments back saying, oh, how can you say it's not safe? And I go, okay, I can get mad at them and I can tell them they're an idiot. They don't understand what I'm saying. Or I could say, JD, you got to get better at explaining yourself, because this person isn't coming from a bad point, right? They truly believe that what they're doing is safe or not harmful or whatever. And you have a duty to share your experience with the people that watch these videos. So if you're trash at explaining, then what are you doing these videos for? So when I get these negative comments, I try to always respond. Regardless, sometimes I'm just funny when I respond, but I try to explain myself better. Maybe I'm better at writing than I am at speaking. I kind of go all over the place, and I ramble and I go back and weave in and out. Like, we got the weave, all right, Trump style. But I sometimes think by talking. And I like to get into this form. I take some notes down when I write about this subject, and then I just go right into it. I like it to be more genuine versus me having this, strict plan on things. But maybe that's one of the things I need to do, is to start being a little bit more precise with my points so that I don't lose myself, and then in that lose my audience. So I appreciate the negative comments, whether they're coming from a good place or a bad place. It helps me understand that I need to do better. And again, I have certain things that I want to say to help people. And I can't do that if I can't communicate properly by using my words in the proper way. And that's another reason why I put out videos all the time, is because I think just by doing this, I'll get better at that. Maybe I won't, all right? But I think that I have the perspective enough, and I think that if I make multiple videos on a subject, I get better at talking about that. So bear with me if you're listening to my videos and you're watching things and it's all over the place. Bear with me. I am trying to improve, and I'll make those improvements. And if you have suggestions for me, write them down. Maybe I'll take them, maybe I won't. But I'm working towards, again, better communication so that I can get my experience, my whatever, education, my knowledge, if you can call it that, but really my experience and my perspective, I want to let that shine through in the way that I am able to share with what I'm saying. So that's why I appreciate the negative comments. Keep them coming. And if you have some comments or suggestions on what I can do to better serve my audience, let me know. I'd love to hear that in the comments. So until next time, I'll see you then.